summer monsoon. Okay, listen. So as southeast trade winds, they enters India through two major branches. One is Arabian Sea branch and Bay of Bengal branch. Listen, this is also southwest. It is one branch of southwest monsoon. The second branch of southwest monsoon. So one branch entering through Arabian Sea, another branch entering through the Bay of Bengal. But one important point to remember. So the Arabian Sea branch further divides into three sub branches: Kerala branch, Sahyadri branch, and Kathiawar branch. So Kathiawar is the area in Gujarat. It enters through Kathiawar Peninsula. That's why it is named as a Kathiawar branch. So Sahyadri, it's a name of Western Ghats in Maharashtra and Karnataka. It enters from the almost from the Western Ghats. That's why we call Sahyadri branch. And the first branch enters through Kerala. That's why it's known as Kerala branch. And it's the first branch of monsoon to enter India. If you get the question, which of the following state receives monsoon rainfall first? Answer is Kerala. And in Union territories, it is the Andaman Nicobar. Andaman Nicobar is the first to get the monsoon rainfall, because the Great Nicobar is the southernmost part of India. The Great Nicobar receives the rainfall first. In the states category, Kerala is first, right? And this Arabian Sea branch enters India through three sub branches. Listen first. Kerala branch, Sahyadri branch, and Kathiawar branch. Kerala branch enters through Kerala. Sahyadri branch enters through Karnataka and Maharashtra and even Goa, right? Goa. So it enters through Karnataka, Maharashtra, Goa, and Kathiawar branch enters to Gujarat. And almost entire India will be covered. So if you get the question, so entire India or maximum portion of India is covered by which branch? Answer Arabian Sea branch. Maximum India covered by Arabian Sea branch. And northeastern states and northern part of India covered by Bay of Bengal branch, right? So this Bay of Bengal branch, in the beginning, it travels parallel to the Eastern Ghats. It travels parallel to the Eastern Ghats, and that's why Eastern Ghats receives less rainfall. If you get the question, why Eastern Ghats receive less rainfall, the Bay of Bengal branch travels parallel to the Eastern Ghats. And why Western Ghats receives heavy rainfall? Because the Arabian Sea branch travels perpendicular to the Western Ghats. As they travels perpendicular, it gives more rainfall. As it travels parallel, it gives less rainfall. And because of less rainfall, Eastern Ghats having less biodiversity, and Western Ghats having more biodiversity, because these winds travels perpendicular, and the Western Ghats almost is a windward side to the southwest monsoon. As it's a windward side, it receives heavy rainfall. And this Bay of Bengal branch, it hits the Khasi hills of Meghalaya. And Meghalaya having three famous hills, Garo, Khasi, Jaintia. And in that, Khasi hills located at the middle of the Meghalaya. And there are two places, Maushinram and Chirapunji, in these hills. And these places, if you get the question, so these places receives rainfall by which of the following branch? Answer Bay of Bengal branch. Many students will mark Arabian Sea branch. This is a wrong answer. So your Maushinram, Chirapunji receives the rainfall by Bay of Bengal branch, right? And Bay of Bengal branch causes maximum rainfall in the northeast. It is known as northeast branch. And one branch travels almost parallel to the Himalayas, that we call northern branch, or it's also known as a Gangetic branch, right? So this branch covers Gangetic plain region. This branch covers northeastern states, and the southwest, this Arabian Sea branch, it covers the almost entire India, right? And one more important point, just listen. Suppose this is the Western Ghats. Listen carefully. It's the Western Ghats. It is Arabian Sea. Listen carefully. So Arabian Sea. It's the Indian mainland, right? Indian mainland. It is the Indian mainland. So here it's Arabian Sea. The winds carries moisture from the Arabian Sea, gives more rainfall in the windward side. And when the winds travels towards India's mainland, the moisture decreases. As the moisture decreases, rainfall also decreases. And this question asked in the prelims exam. So the amount of rainfall by Bay of Bengal, Arabian Sea branch. So the rainfall decreases from west towards the east. Listen. Amount of rainfall by Arabian Sea branch decreases from west as we go towards the east. As we go towards east, the amount of rainfall decreases. And from this Bay of Bengal branch, so this is the east. And if you go towards west, amount of rainfall decreases from east to west by the Bay of Bengal branch. And by the Arabian Sea branch, the rainfall decreases from the west towards the east. And here, reverse, the east to west rainfall increases and west to east rainfall decreases, because here coastal areas to mainland, the moisture decreases, rainfall also decreases. Either you should remember the concept here. And very important theory. This theory explained with scientific reasons why this wind deflects. The Coriolis force also clearly mentioned here, right? And if this area, it gets orographic rainfall, this area receives convection rainfall, everything is clearly mentioned by this theory. That's why we call more scientific theory and most accepted theory. Around few lines. And one more important point. So if you get the question during this theory, where the ITCZ will found, so in this area you will find the ITCZ almost near Gangetic Plain. ITCZ, intertropical convergence zone. These air masses brings the moisture and the joints at this place, and this air mass comes from northeast also, but they are the dry winds, but these are the moist winds. These moist winds comes from water bodies. The dry winds comes from this plateau regions, like Tibetan plateau regions, that we call northeast trade winds. This is southeast trade winds. Southeast trade winds only becomes the southwest monsoon. Write down. So air mass theory or ITCZ theory. Write down. Mechanism of Indian monsoon. Mechanism of Indian monsoon. Mechanism of Indian monsoon depends upon the existence and shifting of ITCZ. Depends upon this existence and shifting of ITCZ. Mechanism of Indian monsoon depends upon existence and shifting of ITCZ. Right? Full stop. During June month, vertical sun rays falls over Indian mainland in general, and middle part in particular. During June month, vertical sun rays falls over Indian landmass in general and middle part in particular. Therefore, very strong low pressure develops. Where it develops? Very strong low pressure develops at middle part of India, right? Very strong low pressure develops at middle part of India. Therefore, very strong low pressure develops at middle part of India. Listen, very strong low pressure develops at middle part of India, and the surrounding region consists the high pressure, and this area consists the low pressure. Now winds, listen here, the southeast trade winds, they crosses the equator. And because of Coriolis force, they deflect towards the right, and as they deflect towards the right, they enters India from southwest direction. As they enters India from southwest direction, they are named as southwest monsoon, right? They are named as southwest monsoon. And one more important point, these winds travels up to this Gangetic Plain, because the low pressure area is there at Gangetic Plain, and here the winds comes from this 35° also, that we call, just listen, we call northeast trade winds. And these northeast trade winds, these are the dry winds because coming from the land, and the southeast trade winds are the moist winds coming from the water body. Just listen, these are the moist winds coming from the water bodies. They are coming from the land, that's why they are the dry winds. And please remember, in this example or in this mechanism, northeast trade winds are offshore winds because they are traveling on the land or away from the land. Just listen. Just remember one more important point, offshore and onshore. If suppose, just listen, this is the Indian mainland, this is the water body. Your winds those travels from water to land, it is known as onshore. Only at coastal areas we call onshore, and those travels on the land, it is also known as offshore. Offshore meaning on the land or away from the land. Listen, if the same wind travels in the water body from the land, it is also known as offshore. Offshore meaning on the land or away from the land, both is the same meaning, right? So here the winds are coming from the land. This is the land, Tibetan plateau region. The winds are coming from the land, that's what we call the offshore winds only. So these are the offshore winds. Onshore meaning only when they travels from water body to land, then we call the onshore. So these are the offshore winds or the dry winds, and these are the onshore winds or moist winds. Just listen, they are the onshore or moist winds. These moist winds and the dry winds joins at Gangetic Plain region, and during this journey, these winds they causes the rainfall in all these areas. While moving towards the ITCZ, they causes the rainfall in all the places. And when the strong low pressure exists over Indian landmass, and when this dry winds and moist winds joins at Gangetic Plain, that condition is known as monsoon trough. Just listen, this is also UPSC prelims question. They ask the question, what is monsoon trough? Monsoon trough meaning, remember here, during the month of June, very strong low pressure area develops over Indian landmass, and at that low pressure, the moist southeast trade winds and dry northeast trade winds comes and converges. That area is known as monsoon trough, right? So what I would mention last point. What is the last point? Listen, very strong low pressure area develops over Indian landmass. Push up next point. A moist southeast trade winds, a moist and onshore southeast trade winds, a moist onshore southeast trade winds, moist onshore southeast trade winds crosses the equator, moist onshore southeast trade winds crosses the equator and deflects towards right due to Coriolis effect, Coriolis effect or Coriolis force, both are same. Coriolis effect deflects towards right due to Coriolis effect, and enters India as southwest monsoon, enters India as southwest monsoon, and converges or mixes with northeast trade winds, near Gangetic Plain region, converges with northeast trade winds near Gangetic Plain region, converges with northeast trade winds near Gangetic Plain region. Therefore, ITCZ will develop. Over Indian landmass, ITCZ will develop over Indian landmass near Gangetic Plain. Therefore, ITCZ will develop over Indian landmass near Gangetic Plain. Right? Full stop. Listen. So here, existence of low pressure is the main reason for formation of ITCZ, and that condition we call monsoon trough. Put the heading monsoon trough in that only. Write down monsoon trough. Okay, just listen. So in the wave, we are having the crust and trough. Listen first. We are having the crust and trough concept. So here crust meaning will take uppermost limit of the wave. Trough meaning will take lowermost part of the wave. Uppermost part and the lowermost part. Here lowermost part is referred to low pressure, strong low pressure. Uppermost part is referred to your high pressure. Just listen. Monsoon trough. This area we call trough. Trough of a wave, nothing but the lowest part of the wave we call trough. Here the lowest is referred to the lowest pressure. You got this point? Monsoon trough. Because during the monsoon wind, the lowest pressure area we call as monsoon trough. Just put the heading monsoon trough, write down. During June month, very strong low pressure area exists or develops. Very strong low pressure area develops near Gangetic Plain region, which causes the development of ITCZ, which causes the formation of ITCZ. which causes the formation of ITCZ. Full stop. This phenomenon is known as monsoon trough. 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 Right? Full stop. So this is the theoretical explanation. The practical explanation: in the Gangetic Plain, if the people will feel more warm, that is the condition of monsoon trough. In practical example, if the people will feel more warm, so that is the indication that the monsoon will arrive very soon. When the people will feel more warm, right, and if the pressure decreases and very low pressure reaches, so that is the, in theoretical ways we call monsoon trough. In the practical ways, so more warming condition in the Gangetic Plain, or more warming condition or very low pressure condition in the Gangetic Plain, we call as monsoon trough, and that is the indication of onset of Indian monsoon or arrival of Indian monsoon. If you get the question, what monsoon trough refers? The monsoon trough refers to arrival of Indian monsoon. It indicates the monsoon will arrive very soon. Just one more line. Monsoon trough indicates the arrival. Monsoon trough indicates the arrival or onset of southwest monsoon. Monsoon trough refers to arrival or onset meaning, so it will come on the land. Onset, arrival or onset of southwest monsoon. Arrival or onset of southwest monsoon. Very important point. So your monsoon trough means, just simply remember, monsoon trough nothing but a very low pressure area near Gangetic Plain we call monsoon trough. And what that indicates, if there is a low pressure area, then definitely the winds will come from high pressure areas and they brings the moisture and they causes the rainfall, right? When the low pressure area develops, that indicates the arrival of Indian monsoon, right? Very important point, right? Monsoon trough indicates the arrival of Indian monsoon. Full stop. Next point. Southwest monsoon enters India. Next point. Southwest monsoon enters India through two major branches. 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 One is SBI branch and second is HDFC branch. First one is, write down, Arabian Sea branch. First one is A, capital A, Arabian Sea branch, and second B, Bay of Bengal branch. Southwest monsoon enters India through two major branches. First one is Arabian Sea branch and second one is Bay of Bengal branch. Bay of Bengal branch. Bay of Bengal branch, right? Full stop. First put the heading Arabian Sea branch. Arabian Sea branch. Arabian Sea branch. Listen, very simple here. Arabian Sea branch meaning when the southeast trade winds travels over the Arabian Sea, we call Arabian Sea branch. When the southeast trade winds travels over the Bay of Bengal, we call Bay of Bengal branch. Just write down Arabian Sea branch. Southeast trade winds. Listen, this is also very important point. Listen, southeast trade winds from Madagascar. We are having here Madagascar. Southeast trade winds from Madagascar region. Southeast trade winds from Madagascar region. Southeast trade winds from Madagascar region crosses the equator. Southeast trade winds from Madagascar region crosses the equator. Crosses the equator and deflects towards right. Crosses the equator and deflects towards right. And travels above the Arabian Sea. Travels above the Arabian Sea towards India. Travels above the Arabian Sea towards India. Pull it off. It is known as Arabian Sea branch of southwest monsoon. It is known as Arabian Sea branch of southwest monsoon. Arabian Sea branch of southwest monsoon. Right? Full stop. In the same point, it enters India through three sub branches. It meaning Arabian Sea branch. It enters India through 3 sub branches. It enters India through 3 sub branches. It enters India through 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 3 sub branches. Through 3 core. So there is one concept in environment called indicator species. What is indicator species? Yes, which indicates the health of the ecosystem. A small weather change, khaung karna, cold, cough, right? Because it's a common symptoms of the species, because they indicate the health condition of the environment, right? Along with their health condition, they will explain about the health condition of the environment also. When we get cold and cough, that indicates that surrounding weather is not suitable for survival, right? So because when the air becomes polluted, we'll start cold, like that we will start coughing, right? And even will get some headache also. So that our health indicates the health of environment and ecology, that we call indicator species. Right on, next point. Right on. What you written last point? Southwest monsoon that enters through 3 sub branches. Through 3 sub branches. First one, Kerala branch. Kerala branch is the first to enter India. Kerala branch is the first to enter India. Kerala branch is the first to enter India. First to enter India. Generally in the first week of June month. 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 Therefore, Kerala is the first Indian state. Therefore, Kerala is the first Indian state to receive monsoon rainfall. Therefore, Kerala is the first Indian state. Therefore, Kerala is the first Indian state to receive monsoon rainfall. Monsoon rainfall. Kerala is the first Indian state to receive monsoon rainfall. Right? Full stop. Listen. So here in the states category, Kerala is first. Otherwise, Andaman Nicobar is the first to receive monsoon rainfall. Just have to note. Andaman Nicobar is the first region of India. Andaman Nicobar is the first region of India. So region meaning entire India, like states plus UTs. All together we call Indian region or Indian territory. Andaman Nicobar is the first region of India to receive monsoon rainfall. Andaman Nicobar is the first region to receive monsoon rainfall. And later Kerala. So if you see the entire India, Kerala becomes second. Andaman Nicobar becomes first. If you take only mainland part, if you take only state part, then Kerala is first. Right? Okay. So here Kerala branch. Next point. Sahyadri branch enters through Western Ghats region of Karnataka and Maharashtra. Sahyadri branch enters through Western Ghats region of Karnataka and Maharashtra. Sahyadri branch enters through Western Ghats region of Karnataka and Maharashtra. Full stop. One more line in that. Western Ghats are known as Sahyadri. Western Ghats are known as Sahyadri in Karnataka and Maharashtra. Western Ghats are known as Sahyadri. Western Ghats are known as Sahyadri in Karnataka and Maharashtra. In Karnataka and Maharashtra. Full stop. Listen, if you get the question, so here generally, listen, every year generally floods occurs in Mumbai, and that floods occurs because of Sahyadri branch only. So Sahyadri branch generally causes the floods in Mumbai. And in the year, listen, in the year 2005, there was a flood in Mumbai. That is one of the worst flood in the history of Maharashtra. That flood occurred almost on 26th July 2005, right? And that flood occurred by continuous rainfall caused by Sahyadri branch, and that led to huge economic losses. And till date, it is the worst flood in the history of Maharashtra. I'll show a small video of that. एक बार देख लीजिए. Just switch off the light. पूरा मजा ले लीजिए. Mumbai flood. It became very famous in the name of Mumbai flood. So 2005 flood.
July 26. Even the mention of the date is enough to bring chills to a Mumbaiker. 40 years ago, on 26 July 2005, Mumbai was battered by heavy rainfall, which caused havoc across all areas, claiming many lives and leaving the city paralyzed. It is the day when rains brought the maximum city to a standstill. Large number of people were stranded on the road, lost their homes, and many walked for long distances back home from work that evening. The rains pushed the maximum city to a shutdown, claiming the lives of over 1,000 people and destroying 14,000 homes. The city suffered a loss of rupees 5.5 billion by damaging around 52 local trains, 4,000 taxis, 37,000 auto rickshaws, and 900 pest buses. The rains could have damaged the city financially, but could not defeat the spirit of Mumbaikars. They were seen helping fellow citizens and stray animals. The floods were caused by the 8th heaviest ever recorded 24-hour rainfall figure of 994 mm. Mumbai railways were majorly hit during the 26 July 2005 floods. Local trains came to a halt due to the waterlogging on the tracks. People took to the railway tracks as they did not want to be stranded and wanted to get home quickly. Waterlogging led to a dramatic increase in traffic on road, and many low-lying regions of Mumbai were submerged. Various vehicles such as cars, bikes, scooters were submerged during the 26 July 2005 floods in Mumbai. At present, the monsoon rains and the subsequent flooding keep on bringing back the memories of the 2005 floods. Almost every year, the monsoon season brings scenes of distress from all across the city, depicting its struggle with rains.
Okay. Okay, switch on the light. So please remember, Sahyadri branch causes heavy rainfall in Karnataka and Maharashtra or this Western Ghats region. Next, one more line, write down. Kativar branch enters India through Kathiawar branch enters India through Kathiawar Peninsula of Gujarat. Kathiawar branch enters India through Kathiawar Peninsula of Gujarat. Kathiawar Peninsula of Gujarat. Kathiawar Peninsula of Gujarat. What is the meaning of peninsula? Kathiawar, listen. So if a land surrounded by water from three sides and by land from one side, if a land surrounded by water from three sides and one side by land, then we call as peninsula. This is the Indian peninsula. Indian peninsula. We are having here Kathiawar Peninsula surrounded by water from three sides. This is the water from three sides and one side land we call Kathiawar Peninsula. And this is the entirely we call Indian Peninsula. And which is the largest peninsula in the world? Largest peninsula in the world. Listen. Listen. So here, this is Saudi Arabian landmass surrounded by water from three sides. Right? Here also water, water and water. Only one side is surrounded by land, and this we call Saudi Arabian Peninsula, largest in the world. Saudi Arabian, just listen for your general knowledge, remember Saudi Arabian Peninsula. So Saudi Arabian Peninsula, largest in the world. Just have to under note, Saudi Arabian Peninsula is the largest in the world. Saudi Arabian Peninsula is largest in the world. Just tell me which water bodies are surrounding to Saudi Arabian Peninsula. Which water bodies are surrounding to Saudi Arabian Peninsula? One is Red Sea. Then second one, Arabian Sea and Gulf of Persia. Okay, so three water bodies are surrounding to Saudi Arabian Peninsula. And which three water bodies are surrounding to Indian Peninsula? Arabian Sea, Indian Ocean and Bay of Bengal. Bay of Bengal. And just I have an interlinking with this peninsula. This is Kathiawar Peninsula. This is a Kathiawar Peninsula. And Kathiawar Peninsula surrounded by Gulf of Kutch, Gulf of Khambat, and even the Arabian Sea region. Okay, there is one more peninsula, very famous peninsula in Australia. We call Coburg Peninsula. And it is very important you have to remember because it's a world's first Ramsar wetland. You might have knowing about Ramsar wetlands. So Ramsar wetlands meaning wetlands those are selected under Ramsar Convention. Ramsar Convention are known as Ramsar wetlands. Ramsar Convention signed on 2nd Feb 1971, and under this convention the wetlands will be selected, and as of 2025, as of January 2025, total so around 2500 Ramsar wetlands are selected from the entire world. Out of 2500 from India, 85 are selected. From India, 85 Ramsar wetlands are selected, and from the entire world 2500 are selected. And out of 2500, the first is Coburg Peninsula. First, very important, like that you should remember here. Just I'm interlinking with the peninsula, right? The Coburg Peninsula of Australia, the world's first Ramsar wetland. And as of date, how many Ramsar wetlands are there? More than 2500. And from India, how many Ramsar wetlands are selected? 85. And out of 85, which is the first one? The Chilka Lake. Chilka Lake is India's first Ramsar wetland. First Ramsar wetland of India. So India having 85, but among 85, the first Ramsar wetland of India is Chilka, selected in the year 1982. Most important, selected in the year 1982, and from 1982 to January 2025, so total 85 are selected. Between this 1984 to this till date, 85 Ramsar wetlands are selected from India. Very important point. First one is Chilka Lake, and the world's first Ramsar wetland is Coburg Peninsula of Australia. Coburg Peninsula of Australia. So Kathiawar Peninsula means the branch of Arabian Sea that travels through this Coburg Peninsula. This one, Kathiawar Peninsula, we call Kathiawar branch, right? Okay, there are three branches: Kerala branch, Sahyadri branch, and Kathiawar branch. Kathiawar branch. Next point. Or okay, listen. So your amount of rainfall, just listen, Arabian Sea branch enters India through three sub branches: Kerala branch, Sahyadri branch, Kathiawar branch, and these three branches covers maximum portion of India. And the amount of rainfall by Arabian Sea branch decreases from west to east. As we go from western coast of India towards the mainland, the amount of rainfall decreases at this point. Maximum portion of India gets rainfall by Arabian Sea branch. Maximum portion of India gets rainfall by Arabian Sea branch. Arabian Sea branch of southwest monsoon. Maximum portion of India gets rainfall by Arabian Sea branch of southwest monsoon. Arabian Sea branch of southwest monsoon. Southwest monsoon. Full stop. Amount of rainfall. Amount of rainfall. Amount of rainfall by this branch. By this branch meaning Arabian Sea branch. Amount of rainfall by this branch decreases. Amount of rainfall by this branch decreases from west towards east. From west towards east. Amount of rainfall by this branch decreases from west towards east. That is from western coast towards east. That is from western coast of India towards. That is from western coast of India towards western coast of India towards east. Towards east. Listen, from mainland of India or from the western coast of India, the rainfall decreases towards east. Very important point. So this is about the Arabian Sea branch. Now put the heading Bay of Bengal branch. Bay of Bengal branch. Second branch is Bay of Bengal branch. Bay of Bengal branch. Right on. First listen. So here we have discussed that southeast trade winds from Madagascar, they crosses the equator and deflects towards the right, and they travels above the Arabian Sea. That we call Arabian Sea branch. So similarly, so here near Australia. Listen, we are having here Australia and Indonesia. Near Australia and Indonesia, the southeast trade winds crosses the equator and they deflects towards the right and becomes Bay of Bengal branch and travels parallel to Eastern Ghats. At this point, southeast trade winds from Australia and Indonesia region. From Australia and Indonesia region, southeast trade winds from Australia and Indonesia region crosses the equator. Southeast trade winds from Australia and Indonesia region crosses the equator and deflects towards right. Deflects towards right and travels above the Bay of Bengal region. Travels above the Bay of Bengal region. Which is known as Bay of Bengal branch. Of southwest monsoon. Bay of Bengal branch of southwest monsoon. Bay of Bengal branch of southwest monsoon. Bay of Bengal branch of southwest monsoon. Full stop. It travels parallel to Eastern Ghats. Therefore, Eastern Ghats receives less rainfall. Eastern Ghats receives less rainfall than Western Ghats. Eastern Ghats receives less rainfall than Western Ghats. If you get the question why Eastern Ghats receives less rainfall, this is a scientific reason. Otherwise, don't say the people of Eastern Ghats, they have done many sins in the past, right? We should not interlink, right? Because here science says that the Bay of Bengal branch travels parallel to the Eastern Ghats. That is the reason Eastern Ghats receive less rainfall and Western Ghats receives more rainfall, because southwest monsoon, that is Arabian Sea branch of southwest monsoon, travels perpendicular to the Western Ghats, right? What I mentioned. So it travels, or Bay of Bengal branch travels parallel to Eastern Ghats. Therefore, Eastern Ghats receives less rainfall. Full stop. It meaning Eastern Ghats also consists lesser biodiversity. 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 Right? Full stop. Listen, what is the meaning of rainforest? So which forest we have to call as a rainforest? That is the example. Amazon is the example. My question is, which forest should be called as a rainforest? What is the criteria? What is the condition to call as a rainforest? Hmm? Rainfall should be throughout the year. Very good. More than 150 centimeter. Okay, good. And anyone else? To call as a forest, sorry, to call as a rainforest, what is the criteria? What is the condition? Okay, listen. Okay, so this is cactus. Cactus mostly found in desert areas, right? And then it is grass. Then we are having your forest. Listen. So here in this, by seeing the vegetation only, we can identify which area receives highest rainfall. So this area, this is the desert region, because cactus found in the dry areas or desert areas, right? Desert. To call as desert, annual average rainfall between 0 to 25 centimeters. If annual average rainfall is between 0 to 25 centimeters, we call as desert. And to call as grassland, the amount of rainfall should be more than 25 centimeters and less than 75 centimeters. This is the condition to call as a grassland. And within forest, there are two types of forest. One is deciduous forest and rainforest. Both together we call as forest, right? Forest. And forest always receives rainfall between 70 centimeter to 70 to 250. Listen, 250 centimeters forest. And within that forest, we are having two types: deciduous forest, and rainforest. So forest, those receives rainfall between 70 centimeter to 200 centimeters, we call deciduous forest. And those receives 200 to 250, or sometime more than 250 also, but the criteria is minimum 200. So those receives rainfall more than 200 are known as rainforest, right? This is the criteria. To call as rainforest, rainfall should be more than 200. To call as deciduous forest, rainfall should be more than 70 but less than 200. To call as a grassland, rainfall should be more than 25, less than 75. To call as desert, rainfall should be more than 0 and less than 25, right? Okay, so when you compare the different parts of India, in the entire India, only 4 places are having the rainforest. Only 4 areas are having the rainforest. Rest of the state having, or sorry, rest of the country mostly having deciduous forest. And in India, so deciduous forest is maximum. 65% of India's total forest is deciduous forest. And in India, only 12% is the rainforest. And that 12% is found in 4 places, 4 areas. And the 4 areas are Western Ghats, Himalayas, Northeastern states, and Andaman Nicobar Islands. These are the 4 areas, so where we are having rainforest. Very important points. Western Ghats, and it is Himalayas, It is northeastern states and Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Most important. Only these four areas are having rainforest, and rest of the country having deciduous forest. Right? If you get the question, Central India having what type of forest? Answer deciduous forest. This Central India mostly having deciduous forest. Andhra, Telangana, Karnataka, Maharashtra, except western part of Karnataka, Maharashtra is completely deciduous forest. And Madhya Pradesh largely having deciduous forest. The which state having maximum deciduous forest? Answer Madhya Pradesh. And which state of India having maximum forest? Answer Madhya Pradesh. Which state having minimum forest? Answer Haryana. Then Punjab, because of Green Revolution. In the name of Green Revolution, they cutted all the trees and they are throwing the wheat grains and rice grains. They are cultivating the land, and most of the deforestation happened in Punjab, Haryana because of the Green Revolution. And this Haryana having least forest, followed by Punjab. Madhya Pradesh having maximum forest, followed by Arunachal Pradesh. And among AP and Telangana, Andhra Pradesh having maximum forest. Right? Done? Now, what is rainforest? Forest those receives rainfall more than 200, we call rainforest. More than 200, it can be 400 also. More than 200, that is the condition. What is deciduous forest? Those receives rainfall less than 200 and more than 75. Right? What is grassland? Those receives rainfall more than 25, less than 75, we call grassland. What is desert? Areas those receive rainfall less than 25. Now, very simple to remember, right? Desert, grassland, deciduous forest, and the evergreen forest. So it is in increasing order of the rainfall and the vegetation. So which vegetation having maximum biodiversity? Rainforest having maximum biodiversity. Which having least biodiversity? Deserts are having least biodiversity, right? So deserts least biodiversity or minimum biodiversity. What is the meaning of biodiversity? Different types of life. Minimum biodiversity and maximum biodiversity. If I take your environment ecology also, 40 questions 100% confirm from my class notes. Environment geography together. 40 into 2, 80 marks, confirm, prelims clear. You have to prepare for the mains. Right? So geography plus, because both are overlapping subject, and if a single faculty take both the subjects, definitely enjoy the process, right? And probably I will try my level best to take environment ecology also, right? Write down next point, write down fast, write down. What is the last point, Sanjana? Western Ghats, Eastern Ghats consists less biodiversity. Okay, next point, write down. Listen, so Eastern Ghats receive less rainfall because the Bay of Bengal branch travels parallel to Eastern Ghats. Next point, I don't. Bay of Bengal branch causes heavy rainfall in Khasi Hills of Meghalaya. Bay of Bengal branch causes heavy rainfall. Bay of Bengal branch causes heavy rainfall in Khasi Hills of Meghalaya. Khasi Hills of Meghalaya. So if you get time in your life, please visit once Maushinram Chirapunji. Really heaven, very good places. I visited twice that place, and that Meghalaya itself is very beautiful place. There is one dance called Mijo dance, which is famous in Mizoram and Meghalaya also. Mijo dance. The girls will do the dance with the bamboo stick, right? Very super dance, right? You might have seen that dance, bamboo dance, right? Okay, listen. So here, Bay of Bengal branch, it gives heavy rainfall or causes heavy rainfall in Khasi Hills of Meghalaya. Right, one more line. A world famous Maushinram and Chirapunji places. A world famous Maushinram and Chirapunji places. Maushinram and Chirapunji places. A world famous Maushinram and Chirapunji places are located in Khasi Hills. A world famous Maushinram and Chirapunji places are located in Khasi Hills of Meghalaya. In Khasi Hills of Meghalaya. In Khasi Hills of Meghalaya. They receives highest rainfall in the world. They receives highest rainfall in the world. They receives highest rainfall in the world. That is AAR, annual average rainfall of 1100 centimeters. That is AAR. Listen, already I have discussed, but still again I am giving because the multiple revisions will help you to remember the concepts, right? So your AAR, annual average rainfall 1100 centimeters, and that's why we call the most wet place in the world is Moshinram and Cherrapunji. The most wet, nothing but those receive more rainfall. The world's driest place is Atacama, the driest place, and the most wet place is Moshinram Cherrapunji. And Moshinram Cherrapunji are located in which hills of Meghalaya? Khasi Hills, right? And please remember, which branch causes heavy rainfall? Bay of Bengal branch. And this Khasi Hills and surrounding area is declared one biosphere reserve called Nokrek Biosphere Reserve. So in India we are having 18 biosphere reserve, and among 18 one of the beautiful biosphere reserve is in Meghalaya in the name of Nokrek.